We have two other brothers here. You know, I'm telling you, the names are so powerful that I have to even let them introduce themselves again. And we want to say, Akwaba, welcome to the Kubandwa.
Peace and love.
And
Peace
your
and
name
love.
is?
Peace and love. This is Adisa Joe the Eel.
This is Brother Kudra Adwa El Grand Sheik.
Now, we were talking to you a few moons ago, and we were talking about the Moorish Science Temple and what it is and all of that. Since you're coming forward now, could you once again put it out what it is and where we came from to be called the Moors?
Okay, to qualify it, what I'll do is I'll speak about a brother by the name of Owen that called us last week after the show. And he called us ecstatic because he's never heard somebody who looks like us talk about this thing. Because he has a neighbor who's German. And the German neighbor told him that North America is the only place where people who look like us are called black people. And that even in Germany, we're known as Moors. Right? This is somebody who was listening and they called in. Right? So the idea that Prophet Noble Drew Ali came up with to bring people back into their proper status is not just a good idea. It's a restoration of the same culture that we say was lost or taken away, right? It's about restoring it.
Yes.
Right? We're not creating anything. We're not trying to establish something. We're trying to restore what was already there that fell.
Washita, we hear the word Washita Nation. What does that have any linkages with the Moors?
Well, Washita is basically just a tribal name for a group of Moors. Just like Iroquois is a tribal name for a group of Moors, and Moorish American is a tribal name for a group of Moors that are in this area. You have Saracens, who are a group of Moors. Berbers are a group of Moors, right? So it's just that's just the distraction to get you away from what the people really are as far as their pedigree and their principles and who they really are as individuals living on a particular landmass.
Yeah, we just had a two beautiful discussion here happening, and we put the question out to the brothers, and probably should put this one to you as well. What's happening with these debates? I've seen different DVD lectures with a debate going on about Nawubian / versus Moorish Science Temple, correcting the lies. What is that all about? Because we still need that, like, to know what's happening. Why are we involved in this at this point when we could be more productive?
Since we're basing the quote-unquote debate issue with the Nawapians, right? What I'm going to read from is the Circle 7 Quran, which is the book of the Moors, right? That Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought. And this one is the particular one that Malachi York put out. So,
yes.
And Malachi York is a Nawapian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
All right. So it says, from the Renewer, this Holy Quran, Circle 7, has been divinely prepared by Noble Prophet Drew Ali, born January 8th, 1886 AD, and died on July 20th, 1929, which includes the lessons, was put out by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I, Dr. Malachi Z. York, founder of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek and Grand Master of HTM, in an effort to further uplift my Moorish American brothers and sisters who continue their spread of truth and unity amongst my Nubian brothers and sisters. This Holy Quran, Circle 7, is not to be mistaken for the Quran, the holy book of the Eastern Islamic world of that Prophet Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin, 570 to 632 AD, of Arabia received, also called the Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah. This is not what Prophet Noble Drew Ali intended it to be mistaken as. There was another Muhammad called Mehmed, the first who ruled in 1413 AD, Then you have his son Murad II ruling through 1421 to 1444, when he took sick and returned to the throne in 1446 through 1451 AD. And it goes on into a little bit more about. So if Malachi York is putting out the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's literature himself.
So there shouldn't be, what you're saying, then there shouldn't be any distraction.
There shouldn't, because it says right here that he's Moorish American if he's referring to my Moorish American brothers and sisters. So the reason why he was able to do what he did in Atlanta, etc., was because he was using his national status as a Moorish American to actually do what he has to do according to the Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. He has the right to restore his culture.
Okay. All right. Good. So I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to leave the question basically blank. I'm going to say my question is blank. You tell the listeners out there what is the importance of your teachings and bring them forward to some teachings. So now we will give you the next 10 minutes to put that forward.
Okay, I'll take half. The major importance of our teachings is attacking the areas that need most. It's clear that our people in general have an identity issue. We're arguing, we're debating, it's over identity. We could have the same intentions, love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, around that area. We all have the same intentions, but to make the first step, we know in Kemet and all around the earth and the different spiritual systems that Moors brought from Kemet, they're teaching you to know yourself.
Yes.
That is the foundation principle, and all things come after. Just knowing that you're a Moor is a part of the process, but it gets deep into what relevance does that have. The relevance is, as Moors, our founding Egyptologists of our respect, Dr. Ben and our Chikeng Diop, spoke of history being, they could trace history from ancient Kemet, but when it got to a certain period of time, all of their information, all of their research went to Spain, went to Moorish Spain, and when he got into that part of history, that's when he started to wake up and see why this is important. The important is we created law, stemming from the people, stemming from the concept of creating nations, in other words, republics. And in these, we established law. The same law that people are finding themselves not protected by nowadays, especially modern day Moors or people who don't know that their nationality. The fact is that they created this law. We had the standard. When we lost knowledge of ourselves in terms of the law and the nations and the republics that we set up, we now became a slave to our own design. So the importance of what we're doing here is to spread the knowledge of who you are, so that all the stuff that you currently do can actually go to use, that you can actually use it to benefit our children. Right now is everything we're trying to get from a government. We're trying to get law from a government doesn't give law. The people.
Yes.
Delegate people to serve the government to protect our rights. And a major part, as you know, I said this last week, we want human rights. We established human rights.
Yes.
Why are we not getting it now? Because we established, in order to be protected by human rights, the international human rights, you have to be represented by a nation. And it's through these processes and through these steps. You strip someone of their national identity, you can do whatever they want to them. And I'm sure the Grand Sheikh will go on and continue.
Yes.
So to continue on, we'll just go to what the Prophet said as to why it's important, right? And what we're supposed to do. This is from a divine warning by the Prophet for the nations. So it's not just for people who look like us.
Right.
It's for the nations, for everybody.
Yes.
You who doubt whether I, the Prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know the law in City Hall and among the officials in your government, and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they would be glad to render you a favorable reply. For they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light,